You out of your fucking mind. Put your pits up.
Bah!
Yay.
Yeah, Cliff just you ran. You were running, dude.
Priorities, dude.
Juice.
We have the floor above us now, and the beer has been moved upstairs. And I realized in the last 30 seconds we didn't have a beer, so I just took one.
You mean
15.
juice, dude? You mean
The juice.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Well, it's barley juice, so
Yes.
barley juice.
Dude, we have a crazy show today.
Packed.
Yeah.
Dude, literally. It's
Yes.
packed. Nice. I see what you did there. We're going to meet all of our new interns. We're going to have every one of them on, terrify them.
Fresh meat.
Yeah.
In the interns.
For you.
Terrified.
Yeah, and you see one right now. Tyler Lopes, our new community intern.
Lopes. That's not his name, is it?
It is his name.
Is it Lopes or Lopez? It's
No,
literally
it's
Lopes.
It's Lopes. It's a Boston name.
Is
Wow.
It's
it?
Portuguese. A lot of Portuguese moved to Boston.
I said
That's where it's
Lopes
from.
because I was fucking.
That's right,
I
because
thought it was
growing up in New
Lopez.
England where it was very racist, they'd be like, it's the freaking Ricans. You're like, wait, which one? Who are you talking about here?
So he changed his name. It really is Lopez. You just chickened out. He didn't want to get making fun of.
Yeah.
So we
Take
got
advantage of
we
it.
You
got-
just want to pinch him right there. So
and
young.
He's there. Yes,
He's like 12, dude.
but very talented dude. We're glad to have
He's a
him.
day.
Hope you're not terrified. He's our new technical director. Chris Milkey is at a wedding,
Yes, he is.
and we've got a good video with
Chris
him.
is
a
in
little later.
Cheeseland.
Yeah.
Cheeseland.
Cheese curds. He's eating them right now.
So we're gonna talk to all the interns. We're gonna go through some news because some big news has happened this week in the game industry.
yeah.
We're gonna look at some videos, get what the studio is excited to see at E3. Because
Get hype!
yeah, for me,
Homicide!
oh my god, Silicon Valley. You should watch it. For
I
me,
gotta catch up.
you see a bunch of you see a bunch of media people always talking about what they're excited to see. It'd be nice to see what actual developers want to see at E3. So Tyler and I went around the studio and talked to almost everybody. We tried to get everybody and get their most anticipated games for E3. So let's just move right into news and get to it. Boom. Probably one of the biggest things that happened this week was the Fallout 4 trailer.
Yup.
As somebody who was a key person in Fallout, how does this make you feel? And so, by the way, we noticed Tramel gets a little stressed during these podcasts, and my wife got this out of like a loot crate. It's a little Atari stress ball, so when the blood pressure rises, just squeeze it.
So,
Oh god, here it goes.
so I mean, like, yeah, it's because I was just looking at this. So Fallout 3 came out in 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 2015, and the game doesn't look that much different.
I felt the same. I was surprised.
Not impressed one bit.
Now, I agree. However, these games generally tend to be the sum of their parts. Like, that dog asset is not the highest poly with procedural fur or anything like that. But if you see it in the context of the landscape, with the mutants and everything going on,
I get it, but it's like they're not even trying to up the bar visually. Like, I can understand maybe some of the game systems may have changed, so they maybe streamline combat and all the other refineries for as far as like gameplay goes. But visually, the game is pretty much stagnant.
you do realize with every video podcast you're raising everyone's bar for our game.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
like, oh, all that shit he talks.
I know, but I'm just being honest. There's only so much.
Well, it's far more colorful, actually. I was on
that's a good point.
r/gaming earlier today,
Yeah.
and there was a 2008 where they showed Metal Gear, the 2008 one, and Fallout, and they had that green kind of hue to it, that whole desaturated generation with Gears and Killzone. And now, you look at the new Metal Gear, and you look at this, and boom, we got some color. There's a little rage in there.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Rage,
Yeah.
but Rage when Rage came out,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, that's, I mean,
you know the skill of these worlds. How could they possibly hit that level of detail?
Exactly. But I mean, it's just the level of expectation. Like when you put it, like the problem is like I'm looking at it as a consumer, and not necessarily as somebody who worked on it. And I understand like working on PlanetSide 2, there's only so much you can do if you're gonna be throwing 500 people on the screen. It's just not gonna, something's got to give.
Yeah.
But just as a consumer, with the time passing, I expected a little bit more visually.
Well, I was
just saying, it looks like there's these, I don't know if this was part of the opening or whatever, because, you start as the baby, or they kind of allude to what happened before the nukes went off, but it looks like there might be this weird kind of like go to a location, then flash back to what people were doing when the nukes hit and things like that. And
Yeah,
I don't
they
know,
wouldn't
that
spend
sounds
time
kinda
on all
interesting
those
to me.
assets, right?
Talking to you about it the
I
other
don't
day.
know. It's I don't know. It seems I don't know what's gameplay and what's just like scripted. Like right now, we don't really know too much about it.
Well, that's been the same since
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah.
Thanks, E3.
Yeah, well, I was surprised that it was even this meaty of a trailer. I was expecting a teaser, boom, CG, teaser, tune in to Bethesda,
Yeah.
press conference.
I'm
and
amazed
that's
they kept it secret this long.
But there was no secret.
Well, we
Everybody
knew it was coming,
coming.
but the fact that nothing really seemed to properly leak. There's a lot of fake leak stories that hit about what would be in it, right? But see, all these sequences, there's like people running. Like, I'm curious.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna buy it. I mean,
see
there's no
Vault
doubt.
Boy and Pip Boy.
That's
right?
never gonna change. Like I'm gonna always buy it. So they're gonna get my money regardless.
Just
but
squeeze.
I was just
they're going to get my money regardless.
I'm gonna reserve judgment until I play it because I'm assuming that the game systems is where they spent the time. It's just trying to make it streamlined, make it more fun to play, make it easier to play on console, etc., etc. So
Well, I'm going to agree with you in the fact that if there's a next gen Skyrim that's shown, like Skyrim to me in my memory in the mods of Skyrim looks better than this.
yeah,
The whole world of Skyrim because it was more vibrant and it was more organic. But I mean, a bombed out environment, can only look so good to some extent when you're just looking at rubble, right? So we'll see.
Yeah.
I like the dog. I always like the dog.
I mean, dog meat had to come through. You had to have dog meat. You got the power suits. I mean,
Brotherhood
it's
of
Fallout.
Steel.
It's Fallout all through and through. So Bethesda make great games. They've never been known to be a visual tour de force, and that's not what people buy Bethesda games
Yeah,
for.
no.
And for the
expectation is
400-hour
different.
experience.
Yeah,
right?
they go for the longevity. They go
Which is
for
not a
the
campaign
story and
rental.
all that stuff. Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
not that thing.
Jared Bott says at least the trailer is honest. So
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that's
possibly.
a good point, right?
Until the game comes out, and then everybody's gonna
Wow,
cry.
okay.
Oh, that it looked better at the E3
Because there's
thing.
too many
Like,
people who have enough time to do one-to-one comparisons. And
I know, dude. See,
Gaff,
that's where it falls apart.
gaff.
So
All
let's
right.
not show anything until the game is absolutely.
Well, we're gonna see we're gonna see more in a couple weeks, so should be interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, if they kind of did this reveal now, what's to
Well,
release?
Hold up, I thought they were doing their own thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
so
doing
they
their
still
own
obviously
press
they got a few
conference.
more
Yeah.
bullets to fire. We'll see.
Oh yeah,
we'll
they
see.
got a lot more.
And if they're showing, here's the thing: if they're showing this early, what else do they have? Right? Like that's crazy.
Who knows? Maybe
Dishonored 2, hopefully,
Wow.
Dishonored 2.
and Doom.
I played Dishonored for like 5 minutes and never got to finish it because I was playing XCOM.
Dishonored
you
is
love
worth going back
XCOM.
to.
Oh, I love me some XCOM, dude. XCOM and Fallout was like
Alright.
the two best turn-based games ever.
All right, just keep moving.
Well, we'll get your E3 pick in a little bit.
Of course.
So another interesting thing that happened this week is Rod Ferguson.
The
over
Rod Mower.
Yeah, over at Black Tusk. I mean, this is kind of crazy. They rebranded their studio.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is, Microsoft bought the Gears property. For those of you that don't know, and I'm not working on it, so please stop tweeting me. And I wish them well. When that happened, Phil Spencer personally called me and told me that it was going to happen. So I was like, thanks, Phil. I appreciate that. Rod went up there. Prince went up there, who was one of the main people working on it, and Greg Mitchell just went up there. They got a lot of great key people who know what a Marcus or Dom or those characters would say. Well, depending on what happens, in the time frame of what they're working on. But at the end of the day, I think it's a great rebranding for the studio to just be the Gears studio. And if you go there to work there, you know what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Like same thing with 343 and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think this is, Rod always loved the IP. He talked about even getting a tattoo about it. I think this is, kind of where he's happiest, and I think he's going to crush it up there. So I think also, if I were in Microsoft's shoes and I had Microsoft money and I had this whole studio, there was some sort of videos that look like there might be some sort of remaster that might be coming. I've said it before, you give me a Gears 1, 60 frames a second with some shiny shit, I'll play the hell out of it. Fix maybe a couple balance things in the multiplayer. And then if I don't know what they've been working on, if there's a new chapter in the series, I'm dying to see where they took it. It's going to be weird but exciting at the same time.
That's weird.
I'm going to make the call that what I think is going to happen at the Microsoft press junket is they're probably going to announce some sort of maybe remix or something like that. That's, if I, again, had Microsoft money and I was doing it. And then that will probably be playable in some form, maybe on the show floor or something. And then they'll probably do the whole, but wait, there's one more thing, and then have some sort of other Gears thing that's coming out.
Gears TV show.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft's big on TV.
Yeah, well, sometimes more so than video games.
Yeah, exactly. So here's a question for you though: is there anything left in the tank for Gears?
There's plenty. I mean, we
Like
had
with,
ideas.
with 3 and then Judgment.
Well, if it were up to me, I'd put it first person, but I think that pissed off a lot of the traditional fans.
Yeah,
Because I just,
change it.
kind of over third person games right now. As far as shooters go, I want to see the gun down the barrel. But I mean, the future of a game like that, it's not 12 chainsaws and a gun. It's about cool, unique, brutal weapons and the kinds of things you can do and the characterization and the look of the world. So, we had talked about a lot of ideas before I left, before Rod left. I can't betray any NDAs, but needless to say, if something hits, I'm looking forward to seeing it to see if any of the stuff I proposed a few years ago stuck around.
That's a good point.
It's my very careful way of saying that. But more power to them. I'm sure they're working their butts up there in lovely, expensive Vancouver, and I think expect good things out of them.
Yeah, I think it's powerful that they're able to do something like this, and I think that speaks to how much of a relationship they have with Microsoft. Like to say, hey, we're going to rebrand our studio.
Yeah, well, I mean,
before E3.
they say at Microsoft the only way to advance is to leave Microsoft. So when we were at Epic, we had brought Rod on board from Microsoft. He crushed it with Gears, and then he went over and shipped Bioshock Infinite, and then ta-da, he's back, and now he's running one of these studios with one of the biggest IPs. So it clearly worked for him. So
Yep.
good for him.
Cool. Good luck, guys. So, Tramel, you wanted to talk about all the games that are E3. It's just like too many?
Dude, it's a shit ton of games. I think right now, this time of year, there's so much stuff going on.
That's why you see Bethesda doing stuff.
Yeah,
lately,
I think
right?
this year is probably more so than the last couple of years. Like there's so many hit games coming out, not just new franchises or anything like that. Like heavily anticipated games coming out just in this E3 cycle. Like for one, I'm looking forward to XCOM 2. I played the living crap out of the first one. I'm looking forward to Batman Arkham Knight.
That looks awesome.
I've been waiting on that thing for forever. They delayed it a couple times. Game looks fucking phenomenal. Uncharted 4, come on, dude. Seriously,
they're doing their remix trilogy, right?
Oh my god, dude! Uncharted.
They should have called it the Master Thief trilogy.
Oh my god, that series alone is just worth its weight in gold.
Yep.
So so many other games along with that. And then they got Battleborn, and they got Doom, and so many other games.
Is it just too much noise? Is it too much? But is it good for the consumer? This is fun, right?
I think it's too much choice.
Okay.
Because you can only buy so many. Everybody's not Cliff. You can buy the whole fucking store up and shit. But myself, I get
all my shit for free these days.
I get one game a year, maybe. That's how I'm rolling these days.
But what's going to happen is I think these games and the budgets, and I talk about this all the fucking time, the expectations, the budgets, they get boom, boom, boom. The people expect the length to be 400 hours, all these added features, multiplayer co-op, etc., DLC. So what's going to happen is, it's going to be, in that space, the rich get richer in regards to the IPs that crush it, and everybody else is just going to sink. And so it's going to be a select certain amount of brands, right?
Yeah. If you think about it, since we were kids, the price of games really haven't changed.
But inflation has happened.
Yeah, inflation has happened. So, and the cost of making games is skyrocketed through the roof. So, at what point is it going to collapse on itself?
Yeah.
Pac-Man was selling maybe for $50 when it first came out for 2600, and it looked like crap. It didn't look anything like the game, but it was $50 then.
There was a brief period where SNES games were $70. But it's gone down to $60 and it's held at $60.
Yeah, for decades.
And for those of you who don't understand, money is built to decay. It's inflation. So therefore, what was worth whatever 10 years ago is not worth now. Hence, Star Wars adjusted for inflation, box office records, etc. So
it's gonna be pretty cool because not everybody's gonna probably pick maybe 2 or 3 games that they can afford, and then the rest are gonna kind of get spread up along.
We're just there to network, honestly.
Yeah, we're not. Boss Key's not really there. We're ghosts in the night.
We're stealth.
Yeah.
You guys got to play some games. Tell us about it.
We're 4 a.m.
totally.
You got to tell us all about it.
All right, so we're going to take a look at, like I said, Tyler and I went around the office, and we're going to see what the studio is looking forward to at E3. And you're going to be back in a little bit.
I'm out of here.
You're going to take off.
Ice cream break.
Yeah. So let's take a look.
Squeeze it.
My most anticipated game for E3 is probably going to be Mirror's Edge 2. I heard a rumor that they were going to talk about this game, and I'm pretty stoked on it. Love the first one. Ready to see what kind of crazy first-person parkour we can do this time. So.
What's up, Internet? My most anticipated game of E3 is Hyper Light Drifter because it is gorgeous.
I don't know anything about E3.
Really?
I haven't researched it at all. Should I?
My most anticipated game of E3 is probably Hyper Light Drifter. I got to see like 3 seconds of it on Matt's screen, and that 3 seconds sold me for the game, so I really want them to be there and see it. So yeah, Hyper Light Drifter all the way, 2015.
So this E3, I'm most excited for Uncharted 4 because 3 was amazing. I love 2, and I'm sure 4 is going to be just as good.
Alright, so I tend to not get into the whole E3 hype thing because I tend to get burned when games look really awesome on E3 and then they're not. They tend to do a lot of smoke and mirrors, and then when the game finally comes out, it's not really what they showed at E3. I've been on the other side of that, I know what goes on. So I'm probably just gonna wait until the game comes out, wait till people play it. If it's still good after that, then I'll get it.
Alright, so my top 3 for E3 this year: Fallout, Fallout, Fallout. Also, the guys in the office going to be playing Destiny a bunch, so I'm really looking forward to the new expansion for that. But between the new Fallout and Destiny, I'm not really going to have time for Doom.
It's great on camera. So that's just the first half. We're going to get to the other half. And speaking of halves, there's, well, I guess a quarter of the new intern population. Chris Morris.
How's it going, guys?
You gotta wave, dude.
Hi, guys. Hello, Internet.
Stop fapping.
Welcome to the haze. This is New Age hazing, right?
Oh, God.
Bringing you in,
I
getting
knew
you-
this hazing was coming. I knew it.
But this is like a gentle haze.
Oh, so there's a horrible one coming soon?
No.
You won't see it come.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be bad. I just won't see it.
So you are the design intern for the company.
That is correct.
That's cool, man. So where do you come from?
So I just graduated from DigiPen like a month ago out in Redmond, Washington. So I'm all the way like 2,400 miles across the country, I guess.
Did you drive?
I drove to the airport and then I hopped on the plane. Yeah, that would have been a really horrible drive, I think.
It's one of those drives where like you get kidnapped by mutants in the desert and they just torture you for a week.
I would hope not. Or like an episode of Supernatural or something like that. Yeah.
Lame reference, dude.
Sorry. I'll try to come up with a better one next time.
So there are a lot of people who put in their applications and wanted the internship, and you're the Spartan that climbed on top of the design interns, and you're just like, boom, this is going to be mine. Why Boss Key?
I was actually kind of interested in applying to Boss Key back when the positions first opened up, like back last July or something, and I threw my hat in the ring, and I don't think I was qualified for the position back then. So I was always like interested in it, just kind of coming from DigiPen and working on a small team, like the small studio atmosphere, something that's just getting started up, like having some more autonomy and more responsibility, like some really good learning opportunities as well.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
So E3.
Oh man.
What are you looking forward to?
So definitely Battletoads. But
what?
You
think that somebody's gonna step up on stage and play Battletoads?
It could happen, man.
Why? This is the first I've heard of this rumor.
Really? There's
oh my god.
There's like an IGN like top 12 like potential E3 rumors or reveals, and it was Battletoads.
Really? The hardest game ever made. Are you even old enough to remember that game?
I totally played Battletoads.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks though.
Was it Phil Spencer who wore
I believe it
the
was Phil
T-shirt?
Spencer, yeah.
He wore the T-shirt. That's right.
Phil trolling everybody.
At the last, I think it was at GDC.
I used to work at GameStop, and we get calls asking if we had Battletoads in stock or if we were taking pre-orders yet, and this was like 8 years ago. So, but realistically, like Dark Souls and Fallout for sure. Like super hyped about those.
I want a Blaster Master reboot.
That would be great. Why isn't that coming?
I thought they may have made one like PS1 or something.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't count.
Well, is there anything you want to say to the community, to all the people, all 200 plus that are in the chat right now?
I am like super stoked to be here, so hopefully I don't ruin the game. And it's really cool, and I can't wait to see everyone's reaction to it. So yeah.
Cool, man.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right.
We hope
No
you
problem.
ruin the game also.
So Chris is out of the office, but we have him here in spirit in this super weird video where he gives some resume tips. Let's take a look.
So you want a job in the game industry. So you have to submit a resume. And guess who gets to read all those resumes? Me. So I'm here today to give you a couple of tips and tricks of, to get that ultimate game industry job. So number one thing you have to do is you have to look at the company that you're applying to. This is kind of common sense, but we get a lot of job applications here at Bosskey for EA. We also get applications here for Insomniac Games, other software companies in the area like Red Hat. So we can't stress enough, please look at your resume, proofread it, and then send it in. And make sure that the company that's in the resume matches the job you're applying for. That's number one. So the next thing is that you have to learn that we're here to give jobs to responsible people that like to contribute and stuff like that. And the problem is we get a lot of people that start off and they self-flagellate themselves in their resume. They're like, I'm not good enough to be in the games industry, but I want you to give me a shot. And well, the thing is that in games, we're a very focus-driven production machine. So the problem is that we need people to come in and contribute right away. So that's the other thing you gotta do is you gotta get a focus. You gotta say, I'm determined to get into this game industry. And the third thing is do not send any part of your resume over the phone, like capitalization, run-on sentences, autocorrect, all these things we can tell that you've sent your cover letter from the phone and you attached a PDF to it or a doc file or something like that. And it's horrible because you're reading this thing and even autocorrect does things wrong, and then you're sitting there looking at this thing going, I have no idea what this word is, and it's horrible. So it's very unprofessional. Make sure you sit down at an actual email, desktop, laptop, and then work up a document and send it to people. Do not send stuff over your phone because it all gets screwed up. I mean, I send stuff all the time over my phone, and that gets screwed up. I mean, I've sent the cat. Thank you very much. This is Bosskey Public Service Announcement.
I think the mics are going up.
Yep.
The mics are going. We have audio. So we should really convince Trammell to take PC to the next level.
Yeah, PC is where it's at.
What we need to do is have like a 3D rendered version of him just like hitting it a level. Just like,
It's just,
the teeth.
Oh yeah, he made a point. He was like, I'm gonna make these teeth jacked up. And he did. I think he pulled it off.
Yeah, like RJ through the monitor or something.
Yeah, no, see? You're already creating a fiction.
I think the real MVP in our studio is that orange lamp that's in every freaking video.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that's a shot. Anyways, you may be wondering who this gentleman is over here. This is Anthony Handy, our new art intern, man.
Yes, that's right.
These are all real intern names, by the way. They weren't like big ones.
Yeah, there's some great. You guys have some really great names.
Thank you, man.
Very memorable.
Appreciate that.
So cool, man. Thanks for joining us, dude.
No doubt, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Just happy to be here.
So what's your story, dude? Where you coming from, and why Bosskey?
Okay, I'm from Chicago, Illinois, Southside Chicago, and basically the reason I chose Bosskey is I saw that you guys were working on a nice post-apocalyptic sci-fi FPS, and that's actually where I wanted to go with my artwork in the future.
Oh, cool, dude.
Yeah, I wanted to get into science fiction, very weapon-based, I love it. I love it. So I thought it was a great opportunity, but the fact that I actually got it, that was the shocking part. That was the part I wasn't expecting, so.
Well, so we had our show and tell earlier, and Anthony just like the first week, he's up in the front just cranking. He's just like, here's what I did, boom, 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 boom. We're all just like,
yeah,
I appreciate
good
that.
shit.
And you had to deal with that construction noise too the entire time.
Yeah,
I was walking by, I was like, man, this guy is just powering.
It's part of that. It's part of the hazing.
Like a boss fort surrounding me. It was me and just boxes and tables all day, and just banging and people dropping.
Did you make like a cardboard box fort around you?
No, they made one for me. Basically.
As they unpack things, just
yeah. Hey, you mind if I put this? Yeah, it's okay.
So a lot of people in the chat are bummed you're not on Twitter, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
they want you to speak a little louder too.
Okay.
You gotta get on Twitter.
Yeah, you're not on Twitter, dude.
I gotta get on Twitter, man. I have to get an account. I meant to do that. I'm sorry. I gotta give me a tweeter, and I'll give me one. I gotta get a good name, just like you guys.
You heard it here first.
Handy Tony.
I don't know about that one.
No.
I don't know about that one.
So what are you, we're asking everybody what they're excited for E3, right? So what is it for Mr. Handy over here?
To be honest, I don't know if it's legit, but I would really like to see a Dark Souls 3.
Miyazaki, dude.
Man.
It's rumored.
I hope it's actually legit because I OD'd on the Souls series.
A lot of people here.
Man, and Bloodborne and everything. I want to see another extension of that series, man. I love it, hands down. I mean, Fallout 4 too, but every.
But see, that they've already shown that, right? So you're
right.
just like, oh yeah,
right.
Fallout 4, we know it's going to be there.
For me, it would be a great thing to see Dark Souls 3.
Nice, Battletoads.
Oh no, I don't know.
Why do you hate toads?
Not for E3 2015. No, I'm cool.
Maybe
Dark Souls.
CES 1989.
Indeed. Dark Souls 3 for the win.
Cool,
for
man.
me, at least.
All right. Well, thanks. Anything you want to say to all the people in the chat?
I appreciate you guys just tuning in. Boski is a great studio. Hey to all my family and friends. I love you guys. I miss you guys. And thank you guys for having me, man. I appreciate it.
It's awesome, man. All right, so we're gonna check in with Arion. We got his most anticipated of E3, but his was a little bit different, so we just gave him his own section. You're just like, here, you just go for it. Let's take a look.
All right, man.
Okay, E3 2015. Yeah, I'm actually really excited about going to my family in the Netherlands and not going to LA. And this time, I've been there forever, so many times, and it's just crazy big, crazy loud. Everything is lined up and cute and whatever. And it's actually the best thing to do is be at home, sit, watching the streams and all that, and just, seeing what pops up on Evergy and getting the trailers, look at it in HD instead of some shitty screen somewhere else and all that. So that works best for me, and I'm actually excited to do it like that. A couple things that I did pick up. Fallout 4, probably everybody's favorite by now. That looks awesome. That game is about time for a reincarnation. Not so much looking forward to all the other kind of big sequels, right? Call of Duty 500, Assassin's Creed. What number is that? I don't even know anymore. Who cares, right? So that kind of stuff. Not interested. And I'm kind of interested to see if Guerrilla actually is going to announce their next IP, because they've been working on it for like four years ago when they kind of announced it, and it's about time. So they should kind of get going and announce it already. And so I'm looking forward to see if anything happens on that front at the Sony conference, I guess. So that's it. Cool.
So I think he has like such a interesting perspective. I mean, he's right. I mean, he's been there quite a few times, and
a lot of people who are fans or they're gamers, they want to go to E3, they want to see it. And I assure you, what you're seeing on your sofa or streamed on YouTube, Twitch, etc., it's just as good and a lot less fucking exhausting.
Everyone's just like, did somebody just fart?
I'm sorry.
No, he likes to do that whenever there's videos running. Anyways, Forrest.
Hey.
What's up, man? The final intern that we're debuting.
With yet another cool name.
Yeah, I know. Forrest Sharp.
Yeah, you guys announced me. You said I was either like an IPA or a cheddar or something.
You sound like
I was honored.
You sound like a new bramble patch in World of Warcraft. Like, young lads, stay out of the forest, Sharp.
Or it's a sword, yeah.
Or sword.
Oh yeah. So, welcome, man. Welcome to the show, and you are you're the team's engineering intern, right? Or
yes.
program? I don't know.
Yeah, programming.
I always get confused on that.
Whatever sounds coolest,
And once again, if you notice on the screen right there.
Yeah. Before they let me.
Yeah. No Twitter.
No Twitter handle. I'll get on that.
Get twatting.
I can probably just throw my name too, because I've got a decently unique name. Maybe I can still. No one take it.
It's epically unique. It's an ultimate name.
It can always be Forrest Sharper if there's already a Forrest Sharp.
That's good.
So where do you come from, man?
I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
So it's not that far out?
Yeah, no, it's like 7 hours away.
That's not bad.
How's that drive?
Not too bad. I've driven to LA before, so
Oh,
it's better
wow.
than that.
Oh yeah, so this is nothing.
Yeah, it's just like a day trip.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Everyone in the chat is like taking the Twitter.
And it's
Taking-
gone.
So it's like, dang.
Darn it. It's gonna like every
That-
single permutation of Forrest Sharp is
That
gonna
was a
go.
major tactical error on our part.
Yeah. You're gonna have to be Curvy Bush or something like that.
A play on words.
I think that's taken too.
So why Boss Key?
You know, I really like Cliff's work. I was drawn here by Cliff.
For a second, I thought you were like, there's no other fucking option. I gotta pay the rent.
I gotta pay the rent.
It's rough in Chattanooga.
Cliff's work, and I really love Unreal Engine, which is what
That's
we're
cool.
using.
I mean, no, that's totally valid. I mean, having the prestige of a lot of the people that work here, I think, is a very attractive quality for the studio. So I don't think there's anything weird.
And we love Unreal Engine.
So we're having everybody talk about E3. What are you excited to see?
Dark Souls 3.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and
You- I'm gonna make a rule right now. You can't
Did everyone say that?
say the same shit that other people said.
Oh.
You can't say Battletoads either.
It's
Or Fallout. Or just kidding.
They're not going to, but Bloodborne 2.
Okay, well, that's it. Hey, you know what? I'm a
Those are
fan.
my games.
Well played.
That's my
sir.
jam.
That's your jam. That's cool. Anything else you're excited to see, or?
That's mostly it. That's
No Man's Sky.
There we go. Actually, yeah.
Doom,
No Man's Sky. I'm really
VR.
excited for No Man's Sky.
Teledildonics.
Bloodborne 3.
Bloodborne 3. Yeah. I want the double announcement for 2 and 3. Just say it's a trilogy.
Like, how many bodies could be working on these
Or like
franchises?
Better Call Saul, where they announced the second season before the first one even came out.
I got bored of that show, I'm gonna be honest.
I've only watched one episode.
It's like
TV.
Last Man on Earth, it's not that good.
Yeah.
TV segue. Cool, man. Well, we just wanted to have you on, have the community meet you, and just step out for a
And
second.
Yeah.
Stare lovingly into their eyes.
Anything you want to say to all 200 people that are in the chat?
Thanks for supporting us, and glad to be here.
That's cool. So we're gonna try to connect with Michael Pachter. We're gonna pull Arjun in.
I was saying you should wave. I was like, get the fuck out! No.
So Forrest's gonna take off, and we're gonna bring Michael, or we're gonna try to get Michael on the line, and we're gonna get Arjun in here.
Now that looks like a bartender. He's like, so,
Hey.
what do you want? What are you having?
We're gonna have the Dusty Shoe.
All right.
So, all right, cool. So let's see if we can connect here.
Good job.
All right.
Boy, reunion time, huh?
I know. So we got you on the line, Michael Pachter.
Crack me up when you say it reminds you of the live stream. This is hilarious.
What's up, Pack Attack? It's Cliffy.
Hey, Cliffy.
I got Arjan with me.
Hi. Hello. How are you?
Arjan, I don't know if I've ever met you, but I'm impressed by you, if that helps.
Oh, thanks. My reputation precedes me, I guess. No.
His
Oh,
work.
You know, I'm a little groupie on guys who actually create things that I like. So I love to meet people who that are artists that can tell a story. So you do very good work.
Well, you can just keep going with that all day long. We'll take it.
So Pachter and I have worked together in the past, and I love getting his thoughts on E3.
Yeah.
So I was like, why not call him up and
Oh,
have
yeah.
him share his thoughts and with our community and rap with us for a little bit about E3.
Yeah.
Michael, I just wanted to get kind of what your predictions, what you think, maybe your top 3 predictions for the show, but also between the 3 of you guys, I mean, all 3 of you have crazy amount of experience with E3 and probably have been there collectively more times than some people have even been alive.
Yeah, well, thanks for calling all of us old.
Well, wise.
It's only my 16th time, so I don't know how many fans you have under 16, but my 16th E3.
Wow.
Oh yeah, sure.
So Pachter, what do you expect from this E3? What are your predictions?
You know, it's really hard for anybody to keep a secret anymore. So, we got the Activision announcement of Guitar Hero a few weeks ago. Fallout 4 kind of slipped out this week, and we keep hearing about, games before they launch. I mean, pretty confident we'll hear about Tony Hawk. And again, none of those things are needle movers. But I'm much more interested in what the so-called independents are doing than what the big 4 or 5 publishers are doing. I mean, Nintendo has nothing to announce. Ubisoft, I don't think is going to announce anything big. But I really think it's interesting to see guys like Bethesda having a showcase event, and they're having a series of presentations at E3. Everything that they're going to show, I think, has already been announced. Square Enix is having a big party with an unannounced title, so I know they're going to announce something on, I believe, Tuesday night. And, I'm interested in hearing what guys like you are doing. So, it's about time you tell us what you're doing. So, go ahead. Tell me.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna make a bold prediction about E3 this year. I think there's gonna be an Assassin's Creed. I think there's gonna be new Halo news. There's gonna be Call of Duty. There's gonna be more Destiny stuff. There's gonna be all sorts of the same existing IPs right there, which is fine. The thing about Bethesda though is like here you have ZeniMax Bethesda that has these established IPs of Doom, of Fallout, maybe Skyrim, maybe Dishonored. Like, those are the established ones that I'm actually excited about. I mean, I'll play the new Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, but it doesn't really get me out of the bed in the morning. I'm not really excited about it. But, I mean, Oculus and VR, obviously, I'm excited about. The rumor has it they're having some sort of event just for Oculus in June in LA, I think. Right now, all I care about that really will totally get me really, really excited is VR controls and VR games that make the Wii Tennis or the Angry Birds, or the system seller for VR. I haven't seen that yet, and that's what excites me. And, Arjan and I are pretty pragmatic about, marketing spend and everything. We've seen how it all works at E3 with the noise and the increasing decibels. Like, we see that and we're like, all right, well, everybody's at 11, so everything cancels each other out. So, wow, look, another one of your established franchises that's like another Cheesecake Factory,
And Cliff, I think you're right on VR. I mean, VR is exciting, but it's chicken and egg. Until we actually see the device and we know it's coming, I don't think you're going to hear a lot of big game announcements from third parties. And you're going to hear about what the Oculus team is working on. But unless you guys can tell me you have a VR game ready to go and announce it at E3, I don't think this year is the show that we actually see all the content.
Well,
we'll see a handful of things from Oculus.
I've been pretty straightforward with kind of what some of our plans are, and as much as I love VR, and I'm a big believer in it, not quite willing to bet the studio on it in the near future. I still think it's 2 to 3 years out from being kind of really solved and in some users' hands. And we're still on PC right now, man. I mean, that's right now where our safe bet is for community, for keyboard and mouse, for installed base, for all that. And maybe we'll come to consoles eventually. To maybe talk to Sony and Microsoft, but I have this thing I say a lot around here. It's walk before you run. We want to start small and build up.
So jumping in here, so Michael and Arjun, would you guys say that this potentially looking at Bethesda and what they're doing, is that going to be a trend in the future with people stepping out from Sony, Microsoft, and doing their own thing and having their own control and doing their own press conference? Like, could you see Activision doing their own thing?
Yeah, no. So I think already, right? You have this whole hustle, right? Like you have the EA Core Conference and and the Sony one, the Microsoft one. Everybody tries to get in that in the first couple of days. Just stepping out kind of a week earlier. Gives you the opportunity to trend on Twitter and all that kind of crap, right?
Everyone's launching early now.
Yeah, it's really important, right? It's if everybody's shouting, then it's really hard to push your own kind of message through there, and it's way easier to resonate before that, right? And I think there's this lull in time right now, for instance, between now and E3, where Fallout's being announced now because it's a nice moment. There's no other news, right? Because everybody's saving up for
That's
E3.
the calm before the storm.
So there's a huge opportunity to actually do it before, and also that's the same reason that we don't want to really announce anything huge at E3. Because you're just competing with mindshare for, hey, look at the new Call of Duty trailer and the Assassin's Creed trailer, and the trailers look nice and lots of people are sharing those, but it's the same game and all that. I'd rather figure out our own kind of void and then shout really loud in that void, and then have a lot of people pick up on that, right?
And Arjan, I think you're right that you want to stand out, and so there really are two audiences. There's the core gamer audience, and they're absolutely going to respond to the Twitter campaign and to the YouTube trailer. And then there's the mainstream audience that is looking at the USA Today article, and that's going to be covered, at E3. I was actually kind of surprised when Fallout 4 was announced that, everybody was waiting on the Bethesda website for the Fallout trailer, and it just wasn't loading, and someone sent it to me on YouTube while I was waiting for it to load on the Bethesda website. So, the idea that it launched on YouTube first and that it had already gone viral, and I'm sure it had several 100,000 more views on YouTube. That's true. You get a maximum impact by doing some kind of a stealth announcement outside E3. But the mainstream media is going to cover you at E3. So if you want the New York Times, and Wall Street Journal, and USA Today, and ABC News to be there, they will be at E3.
So do you think that companies stepping out weeks before E3, is that bad for business, or is that good for business, or does it even matter? Is it just people carving out their own strategies?
On a sequel that has an installed base, I don't think it makes any difference. On a new IP, I think it's smart to kind of build interest in it heading into E3. So if you had a new title, I think it's smart to launch it, or to announce it a week or two ahead, and then get people psyched about actually talking to the developers and seeing more in-game footage at E3. So I think you can build a much bigger audience if you announce ahead of time with new IP. I don't think it makes any difference at all in sequels. I think sequels, everybody expects, as Cliff said at the beginning, another Assassin's Creed, another Call of Duty. They don't need to leak that early.
Cool, man. So any last thoughts? Any last predictions you want to give us before you jump on that jet?
Well, I can tell you, I know that there are 2 or 3 new virtual reality platforms that are going to be announced at E3, and I think that means we probably have 3 too many.
That worries the shit out of me.
Exactly.
That worries the hell out of me. I think the biggest enemy of VR is crappy VR first experience for a lot of people.
Yeah, everybody is chasing it, and I think that Facebook will succeed because they'll put enough money into it to make it work. And the Oculus guys were early and were first, and I think they've got a very good game backbone. So I think that they'll end up developing really good software themselves, and they're well capitalized enough to attract third-party development. But more isn't necessarily better. I agree with you, so I think that we're going to get a lot of noise at E3 from VR, and I don't think that'll take away from the core games, because the core games, as you said, are mostly the same game with the same name.
I kind of have this massive deja vu of 3D, like that happened like 3 years ago or something. I'm demoing Killzone to I think it was Spielberg or something, like, look at Killzone in 3D, and now it's all gone, right?
With that crazy gun you guys
no, nobody cares. So yeah, I hope it doesn't go that way.
It really looked great in 3D. I just don't have a 3D TV, so the only time I saw it was when I played it in E3.
All right. Well, Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We'll have to do this again soon for some other reasons, but we'll talk.
Gentlemen, I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep attacking, Pack.
All right, guys.
All right.
See you, guy.
Bye.
Thanks, Mike. See ya.
Pleasure.
Cool. Oh, that's cool. That was very nice of him to get on the line.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look at some E3 what people here at the studio want to see. We're gonna continue that nice video and take a look. Tyler?
So my anticipated game was announced today. It's Fallout 4. It's June 2nd is when we're recording this thing, because I played the heck out of Fallout 3, put in 160 hours or more into it, and I just love the actual title. So I'm really looking forward to Fallout 4, where I can not shower for weeks on end and grow a ZZ Top like beard, and then just become, all pasty white, by the time summer rolls around next year. So anyway, hope it comes out this year. Really psyched for it.
My most anticipated game for E3 this year is probably Fallout 4. Looks like we're going to find something out about it. I can't wait. Fallout has been my game for a long time.
I want to see 2 Human 2 at E3.
My most anticipated game of E3 this year will probably be Fallout 4. I played the hell out of Fallout 3 and totally looking forward to a sequel.
Most exciting thing for E3?
I'd have to say Titanfall 2, even though I think they said they weren't going to do anything for Titanfall 2, but I like to imagine that they are, and even if they're not, I'm going to make up what I think they're going to talk about, which is like, bigger Titans, on Titans that get inside of other Titans, like Megazords, but like way cooler, and then like you can even throw other Titans at bigger Titans inside of Titans. Doesn't get any better than that. So yeah, that's probably it.
I'd really like to see at E3 Mass Effect 4. I really love the series and hope they continue it.
I'm looking forward to XCOM 2 at E3 and Arkham Knight. I'm waiting on that for a while.
Why?
Looks pretty cool.
Why?
Because it looks damn good.
You want to drive that car?
Not really. I just think that Rocksteady does the best job with that Arkham series. So Rocksteady got the juice.
Are you a fan of the Arkham Knight character that they created for the game?
Oh yeah. The art in the game looks fucking awesome.
Okay, so between Aaron and Josh there with Too Human 2 and the cookie and type, I'm just almost peeing my pants right now. That was good.
Aaron he was going after that cookie like.
Well, Aaron runs like Iron Man's and shit. He's like crazy energy. That's natural energy. He's high on life.
He needs that. He needs that to stay alive.
So it was really cool to go around the office with Tyler and just see what everybody was kind of excited for. A lot of Fallout 4. We actually shot those before the trailer dropped. So I don't know if that would have changed or not, but still the sentiment is there. And it's cool to see what people are excited to see at E3 from the dev side. So we want to actually get to your questions. We pushed it a little back this week because it's been such a packed show, but we still want to answer questions from Twitter and our subreddit, which Tyler is now running our subreddit. So let's dive in. Cool.
Lay it on me.
All right, first question is from Rob Oddix.
Robotics.
Yeah.
Exactly. What?
Just go.
Tramel's done, man. He's like, I want to get out of here. AAA and indie. Is the increased divide a good or bad thing? Where does your game lie on the spectrum?
I don't necessarily think there's an increased divide. If anything, I think platforms like Steam and digital download are bridging said divide, where you can have a great game with $20 that takes 8 hours to complete and you're done. It used to be a platform game on Steam that takes 2 hours that's $5, or some crappy mobile game, or you have the amazing AAA $60 experience. Like there's actually a halfway point. So call it A, double A. I don't know what you're gonna call it, but there's a halfway point now is what I like to think.
It's a double A game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, what's quality? What are we calling AAA games?
Well, it's
something that
subjective,
people
right?
play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Something that people play for.
Well, this is the argument that we had with Infinity
hours.
Blade at Epic, was that's actually a AAA mobile game.
Yeah.
Right? So
Like, what's the difference?
The definition has changed a whole lot.
It's just like the war has changed?
No, I think everybody thinks that AAA means that you put like $500 million into it, or like it's taken 3 years to make, or whatever.
Next gen.
It's all about like how much time you can put. The player actually gets to spend playing the game. I think like if you can create a game that creates like hundreds of hours of content or hundreds of hours of gameplay without people getting bored. I mean, that's a AAA title to me. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Just gotta see how you fall on what side of the fence.
So next question is from Ann Kiddix HC asks, should a new comp sci student try to get into the game industry with learning C++ first?
I mean, it depends on what you're good at. If you're kind of, have the programmer brain, then yeah, you should go down that path. If you study C++ in comp sci and you go home and you like draw pictures and model things, unless you're a person who's gifted with multi-skill in all departments, I mean, find the thing you're good at. I don't have enough information to properly answer that. Just be careful with student loans, make sure you're getting a good education, and do side work while you're studying.
Exactly. Get out of school as fast as possible. That's what I say.
So with that, though, for me personally, I'm curious, would learning an engine be a better fit? or
There will. My gut is saying there will always be need for really good
Okay.
actual coders,
Yeah.
like because no matter how great your scripting language is or whatever fancy stuff you have, there will always need to be a step where somebody has to come in and strip it down and make it just put whatever the bare minimum is over a network or for performance reasons squeeze out every frame, right? So it's good for prototyping with like engines and scripting and things like that, but at the end of the day, you got to code.
Yep.
Cool. From our subreddit, we get a lot of questions about movement for the game, and The Dark 1105 asks,
The Dark
movement. Are you guys aiming it to be snappy and responsive, or slower with momentum, rolling or dodging, double jump?
Well,
Question mark?
with a character-based game, different characters move in different speeds and different rates. One thing I'm very big on myself is kind of the core loop of the flow through the world. Now we might get that. We'll talk about that.
Fishman, I told you. Sprinkle a little crack on it.
You rotate the player's view too much. Oh, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, where was I? Movement, yeah. So one of the many things we're doing for the next milestone internally is have what I call Core Loop Week, where we have a whole bunch of features coming online with the game, but for 1 week, all the disciplines just focus on the 30-second experience of how do I accelerate as I go through the world? Is there strafe jumping? What's my jump curve as I kind of go through the world? What's my acceleration? What's my deceleration? Does the blood come off the foes properly when you shoot them with sparks? Can I hear people's footsteps? Et cetera, et cetera. The most core of the core of the core. And I don't know if that's as much information as I can give, but we want a good sense of flow.
Yep.
That makes sense.
As far as the animation goes, we're trying to get that to be as smooth as possible. So like transitions, mantling, jumping, like all of that should be like nice and smooth, not jerky or anything.
But at the same time, it's important to speak about animation because we're not that game where you're like, ugh,
yeah,
like I've seen games where like the art gets so hung up on how can I touch the world around me to the point where the flow of the game gets hurt. And I just want to flow through the game in first person, and if there's any mantle-y type moves, they're quick, so I can actually get to the combat and enjoy the flow of the game, right?
So next up, Prower Power from our subreddit asks, do you guys think it's possible to update and add new things to a competitive FPS without breaking the game?
Yeah, people do it all the time. People do it all the time. I mean, that's what test servers are for.
Yep. I
mean, obviously, just like, all right, we think of something and then we put it in the real game, but you have to test it out first. It's going to be a lead into it, and there's going to be some changes along the way. So yeah, I think it's completely easy to do. People do it all the time.
Part of the game is figuring out when the game first comes out what is overpowered, what's underpowered. Like, we can't figure that out. We're going to do our best guess of it, having a pre-alpha, having thousands of people in an early access beta, things like that. But if we have the good problem of millions of people playing this game, we can't figure it out.
Yeah.
So once the community kind of helps us guide what's overpowered, what's underpowered, new content comes online, solve the puzzle all over again. What character you thought was great last month may not be the best this month, or maybe there's a new technique you can use. It's an ongoing kind of beautiful puzzle.
Yeah, well said. So we've actually got some questions from Twitch. Multiple people have asked this question. Greyaz, Sir Kane, and Morphling V2. They're curious about what our thoughts are on the refund method that Valve introduced. That's actually big news.
Another week, another controversial thing by Gabe N.
Jeez, dude, it's like seems like every month you're asking the same thing about Valve.
I'm not asking.
It's almost like Valve does all this awesome stuff because they usually do.
The people are asking, man.
The people want to know.
What do we think about refunds?
Yeah, I mean,
I think the
with the
rules,
policy, I guess,
within a certain amount of hours or days, you can return the game without any questions asked.
It's
Essentially,
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's
2
too
weeks.
long, dude.
2 weeks.
That's too
Do you know
long.
that reference?
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's like 12, dude. You don't know that. Yeah, dude, I think 2 weeks is too long. Because people finish games in like a couple of days.
Well, it's a game now, a meta game of how quickly can I finish it, right? Like
Exactly.
That took you 2 weeks. It took me like 4 days, loser.
Yeah, people do it all the time.
All those graphics they worked on and all that stuff, I blew right past that shit. I don't care. I just beat it so I can get it back to Counter-Strike.
Yeah, most games, what? A single player game, 8-hour game, maybe?
Yeah. It depends on the game, but yeah.
Last of Us,
Yeah.
what, like 5-6 hours?
Yeah, so what if Valve has this policy and it works for what they're doing, all they are doing is further helping to guarantee a games as service model for everything that's on Steam.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, true.
So,
True. I didn't
so
even
as
think
much
about
as
that.
I enjoy a game
Yeah.
like Gone Home, it's like this is going to be pushing. Well, hypothetically, could push a big DLC agenda for games that get released. So on Steam, the beautiful bastion of somewhat sanity in the world of DLC and used games and trading games, there's going to be this like, our game's out. But within the first 2 weeks, you're going to hear about new shit they're working on. So don't trade that in. So it's almost like this, or don't return it. So it's almost like this weird leak in the bottom of the boat again that happened with these games.
Well,
Or it could just turn
beyond that with the Steam trade-in. I think you can request one after 2 weeks, and they will put a ticket in and see, actually look at your account, see how long you played, stuff like that.
And they have the infrastructure to support that.
Yeah. Shit, Steam could turn into fucking GameStop.
That's terrifying, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
And also, games like Gone Home, which is, a very simple narrative-driven game that I thoroughly enjoyed. Took me a couple hours. People could download that thing and that's actually what scares me. The more I speak about this, the more I talk about the mid-range game of the $20 VR experience, that they could potentially put a bullet in their head.
Yeah, because people finish it really quick and be like, I didn't really like it, and then return it.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of caveat on that return other than just the 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's
Steam knows
now
if
I'm
you
scared.
finish the game, all right?
Steam knows it all.
A lot of people are saying that it's 2 hours of playtime.
How so? If you play more than 2 hours, then...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
sure.
sure.
There's got to be
Stanley Parable?
There's got to be some rules in that.
Yeah, I think...
the problem is we all hear the headline and we don't read the fucking fine print.
So I think that's the big... that's the thing, right? It's yes, I mean, there are reactions to this, and there are varied opinions about...
So it's not 2
about
weeks,
what
it's
this
basically 2 hours of playtime. The beauty of doing this and having chat is I can tell us when we're really fucking wrong.
Yeah. I suspect that something was fishy. It doesn't sound like Valve.
But that's
They're
still...
smart. You guys are smart over there.
Yeah. Send me my VR kit.
Dude, what about the Steam, the machines and stuff?
Whatever, give me VR. Fuck
What?
it.
You're not gonna buy the controller and the box?
Fuck that.
And the
I
TV.
want the fucking...
Dude, that's gonna be shit, dude. That's gonna be the shit.
Have you seen it?
I've saw the pictures.
Have you used it?
I saw the pictures.
I saw pictures on the internet though.
You can't be told. You can't be told what the Matrix
So you
is.
saying that it's fake or something?
No, I was saying. Oh no, I was talking about the Valve VR is amazing. The Steam box, I'm like, whatever.
Hold up. What you mean that they can create this amazing VR thing, but they can't create amazing PC for your living room?
It's not necessarily the same person.
But the same company.
Who is this for?
It's for people. Check this out. Here's my dilemma.
Lay it on me.
So my PS4 can only will only be able to. It won't actually run Flash. So if I have one of those, I can hook that up to my TV, and I can do all of my shit through my TV. Like right now,
Define your shit. Are you talking about
like all of my shows that I don't watch on regular TV?
Yeah.
That I get through the internet.
Yeah.
I can now watch them on a PC that's hooked up to my TV.
So what you're saying is
but I can't get those through my PS4.
Valve's introducing yet another silo for that content, much like the Chromecast, much like Roku, and yet
so
another
now I
fucking...
can watch. I can just basically watch everything I normally watch.
So you can
That's
not
on my
watch
PC.
Game of Thrones more often.
No, I'm gonna watch it. I'm watching it, dude. I'm
Okay.
deep. I'm deep into the episode.
It all comes back to Game of Thrones.
I'm deep into that first episode, man.
The first episode's deep into you.
I'm all in that, man. But yeah, I mean that was one of the things that pissed me off about the PS4 because it doesn't come with Flash, so you can't watch a lot of YouTube videos. You can't watch
Because they want to have their own dedicated YouTube
Yeah.
app. Everyone has
exactly.
and they're all trying to kill the actual web.
Because it's bullshit. And then you when you do search the web, it's like a limited experience.
Yeah.
So if I had like the Steam box, I could just PC to my TV and just go about the internet like it's supposed to be enjoyed. Get my bootleg videos and watch them as much as I want to, Game of Thrones included, and be happy as a clam. And I could push the PS4 to the side.
Keep fucking that chicken.
Nice. Still
All
trying
right.
to figure
It
out
works everywhere.
I'm still trying to figure out why that dude said that.
I don't know. People cut me off in traffic. I'm like, keep fucking that chicken.
Makes
All
no
right.
sense.
Well, that's a good place to end, guys. It's already 6:00.
What?
Yeah.
So fast.
Yeah, we actually went. It was a longer show today, but thank you everybody for tuning in. Our interns, I think we scared them a little bit, but it was good.
The
It was
best
good.
is yet to come.
Yeah, we got to get them some Twitter. We got to get them on Twitter.
Yes.
Gotta
We
do
already had
Twitter.
some ideas while we were showing the earlier videos.
Be sure to follow us. We're going to archive the stream, put it up on our YouTube channel. We cut out the videos, put them up on our YouTube. Follow us on Twitter @BossKey. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. with kind of an E3 recap. I'm
Oh,
going
yeah,
out there.
You guys should have all kind of info.
Well, I'm gonna take all of it. Taking video the whole time, man.
You see my Periscope. Kids love that shit.
Oh boy, it's gonna be fun.
Yep.
Gonna be good.
I already got a name for Handy for
what
for Twitter.
Oh, you need to get on that.
Handy the Man.
And it's gone.
Oh, come on!